Good morning, guys. It's Nick up from the PS. I hope you're all well. Thanks once again for coming back to the channel to listen to me ramble on. Always appreciated, and hopefully take some value from what I've got to say today. I wanted to jump back on again because I'm still seeing loads and loads of negative comments, thoughts, people out there in the market. I just wanted to, talk a little bit about it. I'm literally the most relaxed man in the entire world of investments, not just crypto, not just TradFi, whatever you want to call it, of investments in general. Um, I've never been more at peace with the decision I made a few years back, which was to buy myself some XRP. Um, I just don't understand. I get why some people are annoyed. I talked to my brother the other day who was basically talked into by someone who didn't know what he was talking about, was talked into buying some XRP at the very, very top of the last bull run. Once the lawsuit had already been placed, I think he paid about £1.15 or something like this for a bunch of XRP, which ever since that day has been down in negative territory. And I get it. I understand why people like that are upset. Um, I also understand why me saying, well, you bought at the top, you idiot, also doesn't help either. So again, this isn't to bash people around the head for buying at the wrong time. People are new, people's inexperience or experience is all different when it comes to the markets. But what my message today is that, look, it's a bump in the road, if you like. Yes, there are people out there who committed too much money at a time that history has proven now to have been not the best day, but not the best day, not the worst day either, just not the best day. And I just wanted to look at the grander picture and take a look at things. Before I get into it, as you know, my name's Nick. I am a financial advisor. I'm absolutely, definitely not your financial advisor, though. Anything I say to do today shouldn't be taken as financial advice because the simple fact of the matter is I don't know you, you don't know me. We don't know the first thing about each other than I hope you like to listen to me ramble on about XRP. But the simple fact of the matter is, I couldn't possibly begin to give any financial advice without knowing your personal circumstances. So, absolutely anything I say today is not to be taken as financial advice. It's just me sharing some thoughts on the internet with the hope that you take some value from what I say. And today's valuable message, if you like, it's going back to that age-old message. Don't panic. Don't let things get you down. Don't listen to the FUD. There's lots and lots of it out there. Do I know for certain that XRP is going to be worth more money in the future than today? No. I'm 100% confident, but I don't know for certain. That's a different concept. Can I tell you when we will see XRP begin to go up in value in a nice, steady, consistent way? No. Can I tell you I think it's close? Yes. Do I want to put a time scale on that? No. I'll put the caveat out there that in the world of investment, close might mean 5 years away. In the grand scheme of things, 5 years is a small period of time. I know it's not a small period of time if you put your life savings in at $1.50, $2 per XRP, and you're waiting for it to get back. I sympathise, but we live in a world of owning those mistakes when it comes to investment. Nobody suffers but you. Perhaps your family, I guess, but you know what I mean. It's about making sure you see the bigger picture today, and the simple fact of the matter is there is a bigger picture out there. Jumping through into the blockchain, into the crypto world, if you like, coin market cap. We've got Bitcoin, ever so slightly green in the last 24 hours, which is nice, but that's from a significantly downwards week. Bitcoin's down 7.25, Ethereum 8.23, Solana nearly 10%, XRP 7%, Dogecoin 10, 20% on Ton, 11% Cardano. It's a sea of red out there for the week, isn't it? But the world looks like it's found a spot, and we might begin to turn around and go into next week. This is all about a retail driven bull market, or a retail driven market, if you like. I won't use the phrase bull yet, but a retail driven market. Prices go up and down in accordance with supply and demand from the very, very minute portion of the planet who wants to be involved in crypto, who is involved in crypto. There is more interest out there today than there has been historically. If you go to those Google search statistics, we can see that more people are looking at crypto, particularly Bitcoin, Ethereum, right now than have done historically. not at the major peaks of times historically, but then on average historically. Um, but we're still on the tiny scale when it comes to adoption. Guys like you and me, I don't mean this badly. I assume I don't have, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Elon Musk listening to me in my audience. I hope I do, but I seriously doubt it. Guys like us, normal retail investors, I class a normal retail investor as someone with between $1 and $1 million that you could throw into the market today. If you've got $1 million that you can throw into the market today, you are not a big fish. Some of my clients invest 10, 20, $30 million. They're not huge investors when it comes to the world. They're wealthy individuals. They've got a bit of money. But I class retail as being up to about $1 million disposable at any given moment. Once you go above that, once you get to the guys that can throw 10, 20, $30 million in any given moment, they're definitely whales, as we would call them. But again, those guys don't drive. You throw $30 into the S&P 500 right now, you won't even notice it. You won't notice because 30 million people around the world have all withdrawn a dollar. It breaks even in that same second. You don't see the ripples of this. You don't see the impact that has. Retail investment does not drive markets any more than retail investment. What we're waiting on is the big institutional side of things. I don't know exactly how that's going to play out. I don't. And if anyone tells you they do, I'm not going to say they're lying. I'm going to say they are overly confident in their research. There's some really good guys out there who do really good research. I'll sit and watch certain channels on YouTube at least once a day. When I'm having my lunch, when I'm having my coffee in the morning, I'll sit and listen to some people that I think are excellent. There's some guys, if you follow me on Twitter, or X as it's now called, there's some guys whose research information I share on an almost daily basis. There's some really good guys out there in the industry, but they don't know everything. They do really good research, deep diving research, better than I could do. But then they put the pieces together and create a picture that they believe is the outcome, or the potential outcome, their suspected outcome. Nobody actually knows. The guy that created the first computer did not know what computers would look like today. He knew he'd done something great. Okay, we can argue it was Alan Turing. We can argue that it essentially won the war for the Allied forces. You can talk about all that. Was that the first computer? There was a few out there, a few people out there that claim to have done similar things around the same time. But he had no idea that 70 years on from that date, we'd all be sat here now with a laptop. I'd be talking to a internet, a connected network of people all around the world, done down the phone lines, or nowadays not even the phone lines, talking to you about cryptocurrency. But that all span from the same concept, the same guy who thought, I'm going to create an electronic brain. That was essentially what it was, a thinking machine. For a long time, in the UK at least, the first computers were actually referred to as Turing boxes or Turing machines. But he had no idea that this would all spawn from that. And likewise, the creator of Bitcoin, let's call it Satoshi. I don't believe it was a man called Satoshi. Let's call it Satoshi for now. Probably had a better idea as to where this might lead. But today, even the top brains in it, the guys like, Joel Katz, David Schwartz, these guys who are at the cutting edge of this industry, they still don't know where it's going to lead to 10 years from now. We can suspect, we can hypothesize, we can have a good educated guess, but nobody really knows. And so I'm not going to tell you this is the path, this is how it's all going to play out. I'm going to tell you I'm confident enough now that, to use a phrase we all use, the train has left the station. That's a phrase that we've all come to use now with regards to XRP in particular. But the sector in general, the train has left the station. There is going to be I'm going to use the phrase CBDC, but there is going to be the equivalent of CBDCs around the globe. There are going to be the equivalent of digitalized currencies around the world. You even have to see, you go into the shop now in the malls and things. Most people don't pay cash anymore. I still do. I'm a cash guy. I like having cash. I do use the apps on my phone. I use the beep of my card as well. But I'm a cash guy, but I'm quite old fashioned in that respect. Most people now just beep and off you go. I mean, I don't like walking away and then getting to the end of the day going, wow, I spent $200 more than I thought. But the world is moving away from the old-fashioned form of cash. There's a lot of reasons to be positive about that. There's a lot to be negative about that. Certainly it's more expensive to use other forms of transactional currency than cash. Every time you beep your card, the bank take a small piece. Ripple are trying to fix that, or they're trying to help that. The digital technology that we're talking about will reduce those charges and automate things even more. But then you talk about the other side, you're losing jobs at the other way. So there's positives and negatives to all this. But the simple fact of the matter is it's happening. You get these guys who, oh, I'm not using Ripple, it's the banker's coin. Do you know what? Every coin is the banker's coin. Not every coin will survive it, but every single coin that does survive it will be used and utilized and taken advantage of by the financial services sector. Fact. I'm sorry, but fact. Simple fact is the big guys always win. We're here to cling onto their coattails and take a small slither of their success. Yes, there may be some people out there smarter than me that develop something on these ledgers that goes on to change their lives and makes them a multi-billionaire. Not going to be me because I'm not smart enough. I don't do that. I'm the investment guy. What I am very, very good at is clinging to coattails and picking up pieces of the pie. And that's what I'm here to talk about today, because even with those tiny, tiny pieces of the pie, we're going to be really successful. I did a spreadsheet I talked through the other week for people. This is it. It's really simple. It's just something I jumped on and developed in about a minute and a half. Using the number of XRP down column A on the left, the current price I put as $1. Obviously, it's not that today. I think it's about 0.55 today, something like that. Future predicted price, I've left that at $1 for now. I don't think we're only going to get a $1 XRP, but I've left it at $1 for now. Future value in column G. I then use a 50% value. This was talking about withdrawals from basically taking profits when I think we hit at the right price point, and showing you how that works. But just to use a spreadsheet really, really simply, we've got the price here. The current price is at 55 cents. And then we're looking at a future price, future value. So I've left that at $1. Let's go with $3 for now. If you've got down the numerical column A, down the number side, you've got beginning at column 4, 1,000, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40. I wanted to sort of capture as many of you guys out there as possible. I always use the 100,000 number simply because we can all divide 10 really, really easily. So using 100,000, if we get to a $3 XRP, looking in column G, you've got $300,000. That's really simple, isn't it? I can't tell you what will drive the price of XRP through the roof. I can only tell you that with all these reasons, things like tokenization, things like cross-border transactions, things like reserve currencies, things like automated market makers, things like every bank utilizing these digital currencies to transact between their own currencies, all these things we've read and heard about, XRP price will go up. I'm going to go back now to an old model that I think we can all agree isn't a perfect science, this one. I think you all know this model, this XRP. You can see the link there. In fact, maybe you can't, so I'll... but yeah, the XRP price calculator, if you just Google it, you'll find it. What this does is takes into account various things. So the total estimated daily transaction volume in trillions of US dollars, the average time in days between the transaction. That's more about how often each XRP is going to be used. So the fewer days there, the lower the XRP, the more days, the greater the value. Store of value in US dollars. This is how much XRP is going to be sat to one side, storing value. So at the moment, you could argue that the ledger would class there. I've got that, or it comes preset at $30 trillion, or 30 trillion US dollars worth of XRP. It's a difficult one to predict. The banks may well go on and use this for nostro-vostro purposes, proxy-voxy, some people call it, to store some of their wealth in XRP so that they can utilize those XRP themselves. They may not. We don't know, is the honest answer. No one really knows. We can predict. I suspect there will be definitely trillions of dollars worth of XRP used for storage of some purpose. So storing value comes set at 30 trillion. Moving down here, we've got duration at which above volumes are estimated to be reached. So this is how many years away are we from this point, because it then takes into account a bit of inflation and knocks that off and things like this. And then the circulating supply of XRP, how many XRP is out there circulating. And I'm going to use a different term than circulating supply. I'm going to say utilized circulating or unutilized circulating supply. You can argue that the circulating supply of XRP is 60 billion right now because there's about 40 billion sat in that escrow account. It's only an argument. It's quite a poor argument as well because I've got X many thousands XRP that is definitely not circulating anywhere. It's been sat in the same ledger for a while. You've probably got the same, whether it be 1,000 or 1 billion XRP is irrelevant. Those XRP are not in the circulating supply. I mean, arguably, even the XRP on exchanges aren't really in the circulating supply. But this one is, we're going to use the number 60 because, quite frankly, that's quite a generous number to use. It's going to reduce the value probably more than I think it really should do. And then interest rate to discount from this. So this is again about reducing the interest rates over that period. So this is preset, and this is assuming $19 trillion in daily transaction volume. In the grand scheme of things, that's a drop in the ocean. It gives you the example here. So 14 trillion per day is done by ACI, 5 trillion is done by Swift. I think we've all seen those sketches where guys from Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, the big banks talk about sending around $10 trillion a day just on their ledger every night between, to cover their daily transactions and things like this. So 19 trillion in the global scale of things is not a large amount, but it's higher than I'm going to use. If we click down here just to see, this calculates a $1,632 XRP. Huge number. I think we can all agree. I don't know how many XRP you have. We all have different numbers, but I think we can all agree if we ever hit $1,632 per XRP, we're all going to be pretty damn happy with ourselves, right? If you've got 1,000 XRP, you're going to be sat there with $1.6 million. If you've only got 1,000, most people listening to this have an active interest in XRP, and I suspect you've got a bit more than 1,000. If you've got 5,000, you've got $8 million. Now, I'm not for any moment suggesting this is what we're going to get, by the way. I'm actually looking at this as a overestimation of numerous aspects, and we don't even know if the calculator works correctly, but it's a really good indicator of the type of thing we're going to look at. So let's go a different way. Let's go total estimated transaction volume at $1 trillion. That is a drop in the ocean. I suspect we'll hit the $1 trillion mark within a matter of years, if not months, a couple of years. I don't know. I can't guarantee it, but I suspect we will. Then if we go to the average time between transactions, I'm going to leave that at 5 for now because I don't think that plays as big a part. I think for the early days, it will be, there won't be as many. There won't be the same demand, so it will probably be something like that. Storing value, let's go right down. Let's go 1 trillion. Let's keep it really, really. Again, there's probably a bigger store of value than 1 trillion right now. There is a bigger store of value than 1 trillion right now. Let's go duration at which the volume is estimated to be reached in years. I'm going to keep that at 5 years because that keeps things simple. Circulating supply, 60 billion, I think is fair. I think probably more like 30 billion, but for now, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to put 80 billion. I don't think there's ever a time in any anticipated future point where there won't be at least 20 billion XRP kept outside of the circulating supply. So that's what I think is a worst case scenario. I'm going to keep the interest rates about 5. It's actually higher than that at the moment, interest rates, but let's leave it at 5 for now. Calculate there. Okay, we've got a $58.76 XRP. Staggering difference from $1,632, I know. I think this is about a worst case scenario. Let's jump back on. What did I say it was? 58.76 cents. Okay, so let's take a look. What does that actually do to people's holdings? If you've got 1,000 XRP here in column A, you've got $58,760. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think any of us look at $58,000 and think, wow, I'll retire next week. But that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is return on investment. If you've got 1,000 XRP, you're going to turn that into 58,760. You've got, let's be honest, a good weekend. Maybe a weekend trip to Disneyland or something like that. If you live nearby, you can drive it. Probably not, the price of tickets these days. You've got very, very little money, and suddenly you're buying a nice sedan. Yeah, that's about what it is. You're not getting much more than that. But in the same respect, it's one hell of a return on investment. If you've got that $100,000, I mean, and that does put you in significantly higher than most people on planet Earth. But $100,000, I use this because the numbers are all linear. We can divide by the 10 very, very easily. You've got 5.876 million XRP, and I think we could all argue that is fantastically life-changing for most people. I know most people in this audience. I mix in some wealthy circles sometimes through the job I do. There is no one I know, no matter how wealthy they are, who wouldn't relish the opportunity to turn a small investment right now into $5.8 million. If you actually think about it, $100,000 at today's price, 100,000 XRP at today's price costs you about 55,000 US dollars, and you're turning it into $5.87 million. No one would turn their nose up at that. No one would be too busy. Elon Musk would not be too busy to go, yes, I'll buy that and turn it into $5.8 million. It's just simple. It makes perfect sense to everyone on the planet. And if your number is here at 50,000, then you've got $2.93 million, staggering amount of money. If you've got 20,000 XRP, you've got $1.175 million. If you've got 10,000 XRP, you've got $587,000. I don't know what $587,000 buys you in your town. Where I come from, that would buy me a very nice family home, probably with 4 bedrooms, a detached house with a garage for the car. That would be a life-changing amount of money to most people, because to look at yourself and say, well, I'm not retiring next week, but I can buy a lovely, lovely house that otherwise would have cost me 25 years repaying a mortgage to get. Actually, they might not have even lent me enough money to buy it, and have no concerns about paying rent or mortgages for the rest of my life. I can put that money towards my kids' college fund. I can put that saving money towards buying a new car. I can put it towards saving into my retirement fund. That would be a life-changing amount of money. And I'm talking about almost everyone that listens to me, I imagine, has close to $10,000. And I'm talking about a number here using this calculator that is incredibly achievable. Incredibly achievable, because I've gone really, really low ball. $1 trillion is probably transacted in XRP today. They just don't tell us yet because the banks are doing it behind the scenes. So let's go with Swift's number, $5 trillion a day. We'll keep the time at 5 days. We'll keep the store of value very, very low. Let's go $10 trillion. I don't think that's a large amount of money. If you think that, in gold, there's 8 trillion. This is old, by the way. Gold's a lot more than 8 trillion now. And the price of gold has gone through the roof recently, about $2,500. I don't know what the market cap of gold is at the moment, but 8 trillion is a low number. Stock market, 70 trillion. Derivatives, 630 trillion. 10 trillion is not a large amount. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. Circulating supply, let's make that more realistic. I think more realistic is going to be like 30 billion XRP. Let's make it down to 60. Double what I think. Let's recalculate. $457 XRP. Oops, I've done that wrong. Let's just, for now, while I'm on, $457 XRP. If you've got 1,000 XRP, you've now got the best part of $500,000. If you've got 5,000 XRP, you've got $2.2 million, a life-changing amount of wealth. A life-changing amount of wealth. If you've got 10,000 XRP, you've got 44.5 million US dollars. Staggering amounts of money for what is, according to this price calculator, which may not be 100% accurate, but I think is as good as damn it on the, within the right ballpark. Still looking at small amounts. Same amount of money that Swift transfers on a daily basis, not counting all the other transactions, not counting tokenization, not counting all these other things that we not count every bank that sends $10 trillion here and there every evening. This is a tiny amount of money, and we're talking about staggering differences. Can I guarantee it's going to happen? Absolutely not. Can I guarantee it's going to happen next week? Absolutely not. Let's divide this number by 10. Let's just go for $45. I'll have to put it into this box as well. $45. Staggering amount of money for most people. Retirement money if you've got $30,000. You couldn't retire like a multi-millionaire with $1 million in the bank, $1.3 million, but you could make it work. You could make that work. You know, I mean, I put income derived here. This is from 50% of that value at a 5% return, which is a low level return as well. So 33,750, you'd actually get more like $67,000 a year. You could probably do nothing and earn $67,000 a year and not starve to death. It wouldn't be the greatest lifestyle in the world, but for doing absolutely nothing, it's not bad, right? The numbers are staggeringly impressive when you just take into account very, very small pieces of this overall global financial marketplace landing in XRP. And that's not just XRP. These numbers can be applied to any crypto, by the way. This is an XRP based channel. So listen, I've been rambling on for 25 minutes already. I couldn't be more relaxed. I want you guys to be relaxed. I think we're going to see nice, healthy prices on XRP in the next year or two. Again, going back to $1, for me, that's a profit already. My average buy-in's about 60 cents now. I've bought, no, about 48 cents now. I bought at 60 cents a couple of weeks back. I bought at 56 yesterday. It's increased my value, my overall a little bit more, but a dollar still represents doubling my money. I think we could all say we comfortably see XRP hitting $10 at some point in the not so distant future. The most negative people think that might be 2030. The most positive people think it might be the end of September. But I think we can all assume $10 will come. Now, $10 to me isn't life-changing money to me per se, but it's a fantastic amount of money. It's a fantastic amount of money, return on investment. The point is, relax. This is going to come. I won't tell you when, I won't tell you by how much or what the profit margin will be, but this is coming, guys. Sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. Don't put too much money in so that you have to spend the next 3 or 4 years panicking about paying bills, looking after family, putting food on the table. If there's a chance you're going to need this money, don't put that part in. Put the part in that you're definitely not going to feed, not going to need. Feed yourself, pay your bills, make sure there's a buffer. Anything that's left over, throw it in. I chuck a couple $1,000 in the other day. Other days I've thrown in $50. It's your number. You pick that number. Do it sensibly, do it wisely, but do not panic about the long-term prospects of this coin. It's going to be worth staggeringly more today or more in the future than it is today, and that will make a bigger difference to your life, even if it's only a small amount. That's all I wanted to say, guys. Take a look. I mean, if you like this spreadsheet, you can always drop me a message and ask me. I'll ping this across to you. You could do the same thing on Excel within about 5 minutes. I'm certainly not an Excel whiz kid. It's a very, very basic spreadsheet. Guys, thanks very much. I hope you like what I had to say today. Please do punch that like button if you do. Please subscribe to the channel. Please drop me a comment in the comment box if you think what I said was useful, not useful, good, bad, or ugly. All feedback's really welcomed. Thanks very much. And in the meantime, have a great day today, guys. All the best, Nick.